Hello, welcome to this episode of the Airway Ministry Podcast. I've already recorded one to put on Spotify and Apple, and usually I'll do an iHeartRadio, but usually I'll do the same for video that goes on YouTube, but I forgot to hook my mic up, and I was just recording soundless video once again. That's like 5 times, but one of these days I'll get it and I'll remember it. Anyway, so what I covered in the podcast on Spotify and Apple is some ways to act, ways to do your job to the glory of God and live your life as a husband and a father and a church member to the glory of God. And basically, in a nutshell, is um, do your job no matter the circumstance, how you're being treated, what shift you're on as a cop. Nobody's going to be happy all the time, but do your job to please the Lord. And also, you're a witness. Let your witness and your testimony speak for itself when it comes to no matter people see you in bad situations or get put on a bad shift and they don't see you just give up. They see you still with the Christian spirit, and you lead people to the Lord that way. You may not know it, but you do. And I try to remember this all for myself as well. I try to. Um, I'm just as guilty as anybody, but I know that's what the Lord wants, right? And also be a godly husband, and don't do anything behind your wife's back, and even financially. I mean, like buy a Harley. I wasn't on my medicine. It wasn't my fault. But anyway, try not to do anything financially behind her back. It's a team effort, and that'll cut down a lot of arguments. And to help each other and love each other like God loves you. And until you really know the love that God had for you when you don't deserve it, it's hard to love somebody else, especially when you don't love yourself and you don't know how much you're truly loved by Jesus. But just you seek to win her heart every day, and I'm just as guilty as anybody. Everything I say, I'll go ahead and say it, so I don't have to keep saying it. Is I'm guilty of everything that I'm saying. I'm transparent. I'm real. I don't. Why lie? You know, by doing this and by becoming a pastor and by putting these videos out, I'm no way, shape, or form any better than anybody. I'm not judging anybody, and just like the church, I'm not going to allow people to click up and go to, shun other people of the church. Not happening. When I see it, I'm going to break it up. And on top of that, we're going to be at the door greeting people. We're going to be one of those old country churches where you feel right at home when you walk in. That's what we want. And every member of the congregation is going to make you feel that way. If you come in, doesn't matter your situation, doesn't matter your what you have going on, you come right in, you worship with us, and you sit up front with us, and don't sit in the back because you feel like you're not as good as anybody else. Not happening. We're going to come get you and bring you up here so you can be a part of the family. Everybody there will treat you with respect and dignity. And while we do believe that tithing is required of God, you give 10% of your first fruits to the Lord that you give to the Lord before you give to anybody else, and He'll prosper you in your personal life. And again, I just after so long started tithing again, and we've put a lot of personal money into this church. And I consider that tithing, but we still give on Sundays, and um, we've spent a lot of personal money, almost everything we have. Not everything we have. I'm not going to lie about that either. Just for those of you that are a part of the church, if you're watching this, hopefully you should be. But there was a gentleman next door that came over and gave us $200. Again, the Lord is taking care of everything down there. If you don't believe the Lord works where you can see it, then you're not looking. Because that church, not only has it sat empty and abandoned for over 15 years-ish, give or take, the rock's been kept out of the sanctuary. The piano was still in tune. The carpet was laying back there from years ago, that we used to put on the steps. Even flooring that we put in the bathroom was just sitting back there. The Lord had everything in there that we needed. Now, other people may have bought it. It ain't like, and don't, a lot of people try to be, I guess they think they're funny when they do it, but, the Lord didn't go to Lowe's and get it. That's blasphemous. Okay? I mean, it really is. The Lord put that in there. Somebody else may have carried it in there, but you better believe that the Lord made that possible. And He's taken care of that house so well. We've done a lot of work. It's been exhausting. My elbow still hasn't quit hurting. I don't know what I guess I just got old and my body just hurts now. But I think, the Lord has taken care of everything that down there. The Lord is working, and I don't know, nor do I care what his, I'm just doing His work. The end is not important to me. I'm just going to enjoy the journey, and because I know God's in control. I know the Lord's going to take care of everything. And I'm not taking away from any of these people that have donated speakers like Bill and the mixing board like Bill and he set up the to get the Brushfork Baptist Church. Thank goodness for them giving us the hymnals for free. And Bill did that. The people stopping in and put money in the offering plate before the church was even open. To the neighbor, his Chris and his family. That have done so much for the church, coming over there, letting us use tools, ladders, cutting the grass, taking the trash off. He's going to be burning the brush, helping people cut up wood down there. And there's wood down there for free, but all you got to do is cut it and take it with you. The Lord's doing all this. And Mr. Ramella, and I really hope that's how you pronounce his. I do not mean disrespect, but the insurance guy. He doesn't. I don't know if he wants me saying anything about what he did or not, so I won't. But he's been generous, and again, Brushfork Baptist. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. It's not my intention. But everybody, Christy, Larry, Hannah, my mom, Josh and Sarah, Caden, Galilee, Brittany. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody there. I don't know, and I don't mean to. And anybody that's gave money for the church, or anybody that's doing anything for the church, or anybody, even if you're not, you're just as welcome as anybody else. And we're going to accept you with love. And we're going to hope that you enjoy yourself and that you will come back and that we can grow as a family together. The doctrine of the church is going to be strong. We're not going to waver in that. Again, being in the area it is, we're a Baptist church. We're an independent Baptist. No convention or association is going to tell me what to preach. That comes from the Lord. I'm not man. Who is man to decide what God can relay to people and not? Why does man have to be in a spot where he tries to control everything, even what the Lord wants to share with us? And then ain't happening. Not as long as I'm there. But the doctrine, we come straight out of the Bible, and it's not in hate. I'm not condemning anybody. It's not our place. I'll merely mention what's in the Bible, and I'll stick to it. And if you may believe how I believe, you may not. But just do it respectfully. And during church, just don't, jump up and act like it's a platform for you to debate. It's not. It's a church service. You are in the house of God. You do not disrespect the house of God. And I wouldn't do that in a church where maybe they were speaking in tongues, just because we don't do it and we're not going to do it, and there's not going to be people that come in and do it. But we just don't believe it. Now, I'm not saying that I don't know if they've been in the Spirit speaking in tongues. I mean, how would I know? So I'm not going to judge them, but I'm just saying with that same respect we expect it at our church, where people don't come in and try to force that on us, because we can't allow it. And again, it's not judgmental. It's just our choice. And, as far as the rest of the doctrine, we're getting straight out of the Bible. What sin God calls a sin is a sin. Whether society accepts it today is irrelevant to the Bible. that secularism, that religion is what it is. I've already did an episode on that. You have to go check it out. But just, come in and worship with us. Be a part of the family. Condemnation isn't, I don't want you to think that you come in there, you're going to be belittled, beat down, judged. It's not happening. God is the only judge. He's going to judge me the same as he's going to judge anybody else. But the reason I stick strictly to my doctrine is that I alone am responsible for what gets taught in that church in front of God. I will be held accountable, and I will do it 100% biblically. Whether or not that offends people, it doesn't, I can't help that. But I don't want to do it intentionally. But if what is in the Bible offends you, there's a reason for it, and it's love. I don't wish it to see anybody perish. I don't wish to judge, and I'm not going to condemn anybody. Again, not my job. I've said that a lot. Not my job. Not my job to judge you. I'll just give you what's in the book. That is my job. And, Saturday, tomorrow, starting at 11, we're going to be giving away hot dogs. One hot dog, one bag of chips, and a drink until we just run out, I guess. We are asking for donations, and only because, we've put almost everything we had into the church, and a lot of people's put every time, they've gave money and they've gave their time. We're doing the best that we can, and we're such a small church. That church, if you come in and see it, it needs a lot of stuff. I mean, it's been sitting so long, but we are asking for donations. Donations has nothing to do with whether or not you get food. There's going to be people that come down that don't have money legitimately, and they're going to get food. There's going to be people that pull up on a $65,000 side by side that looks like it's got airplane wings and a jet engine, and you can go float the river and fish in it. And, it doubles as like a house and a camper, but yet they won't have any money to give the church. Not our place. We'll give them food. The Lord knows whether or not they have it to give. They're not lying to us. We don't care if they give it. We hope they do, but it's the Lord that knows their heart. And we will take that money and pay the bills that the church needs paid and fix the church.